The purpose of this speech was to persuade somebody about a specific thing that you pick. Going into it, I felt really good because in debate, through both extemporaneous speaking and public forum speaking, the two things I competed in, a lot of it and all of it has to do with persuading someone, whether with a script or without a script. So with this one, we had some note cards, so I felt pretty good about it because I'm used to giving speeches with nothing at all. So I felt really good that this would be easy for me and that I could take advantage of using evidence to make a point that I agreed with and persuade other people to agree with me as well. Through ethos, I focused on the credible sources and backed it up with solid evidence. I think that was my strongest point, was finding a piece of evidence that had to do with the topic at hand. And with the technology, I think it all went well, except I'm using a GoPro actually currently, and the problem with that is it picks up audio pretty well and it's got a pretty wide angle camera, but to look at the angle that it's seeing your speeches through and to review your speech, you have to put it into the computer first. There's no screen on the back of it, so that's kind of annoying. It takes a little bit longer, but it still works just fine. In terms of structure, saying the first point through third was natural, like the verbal, but the nonverbal, like putting up your fingers, that really felt odd to me. Usually, in speeches, we're told to stay in the same exact spot, or in extemporaneous speaking, usually we walk to three different points to kind of end up making a triangle. But using hand signals, we've never done that before, and it felt really weird, and it was kind of tough for me to do, and to keep up with it naturally. I had to keep telling myself to do that on its own. With the audience, many people in area, especially in South Dakota, not necessarily the audience I had, which were just other classmates, many people focus on water conservation, and breaking things up with dams and hydroelectricity seems really unappealing to most people. So I really had to push the minimal environmental impact and make sure I can explain that it actually doesn't do all that much to the environment, and breeding seasons for fish and things like that are not affected by it. They keep with the natural flow of things. My strongest point was the economical one. There's a lot of money to be made in the hydroelectric industry, and it's also going to be a lot cheaper for people individually. Once we can make clean energy that we don't have to input coal or gasoline or oil or anything, it becomes inherently cheaper because after you make the dam, it's all money back. You're not spending any money after that except for maintenance. With hydropower, yes, hydropower has made sense in the past, and it can make sense in the future. It's a proven industry to work in right now. It's currently one of the best ones in terms of green energy. It supports the most, other than coal and oil. And in terms of getting the speech to work, I need to work on using the database because I have a lot of trouble finding good sources quickly. It takes me a long time to find a source that actually has something to do with the topic. So I need to work on the phrases and the keywords and how to actually get something that has to do with the speech you're giving. And what worked was using the evidence to back up my points. Again, with a debate background, I'm used to having persuasive speeches and finding exact pieces of evidence that attack the points specifically that people have problems with, or support the ones that I'm making and defend them. And when it comes to the book, and something I learned that I didn't know before was terminal credibility. I knew about credibility going into a speech and making the credibility through ethos, but terminal credibility is something new to me, that you actually build up your credibility at the end of a speech and you have something to leave with after the speech is over. So, yeah, thank you.